It began on an ordinary day, like any other. A blue sky stretching out over cities bustling with life. People hurried through their busy routines, unaware that humanity stood on the cusp of change. Far above, beyond the reach of our technology and imagination, an object drifted quietly closer, unseen by satellites and scientists. When it entered the atmosphere, the world would never be the same. At first, there was only speculation. A sudden, brilliant flash on the edge of space, detected by amateur astronomers and dismissed as a meteor shower. News trickled through social media feeds. Streaks of light illuminating the night sky in coordinated arcs, observed simultaneously in North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. Governments released statements urging calm, but curiosity soon gave way to anxiety as the lights descended, slowing, pausing in mid-air. Silent, hovering monoliths casting immense shadows over cities from Tokyo to New York, Cape Town to Berlin. People gathered in the streets, staring upward at the dark shapes above their homes. Panic flickered at the edges of their minds as mobile phone signals wavered, and the power grid faltered. In a matter of hours, the world's largest cities were bathed in an eerie, unnatural silence. No engine noise, no electronics, only the collective breath of humanity held in anticipation. Suddenly, a deep resonance echoed from the ships above. A sound felt as much in the bones as heard with the ears. The surface of the vessels shimmered and split. Hatchways glowed with turquoise light, and what emerged were beings, tall and elegant. Their skin a luminous opal, eyes devoid of pupils, faces unbroken expanses of bone and light. Their technology seemed woven from energy itself, shapes and forms impossible for the human mind to fully grasp. At once, terrifying and beautiful. Military forces scrambled to respond. Fighter jets soared toward the ships, armed for battle. But as the jets drew close, their engines sputtered, then died. Weapon systems failed, communications dissolved into static, and the planes glided helplessly downward. Pilots ejected by unseen hands, floated safely to ground by fields of invisible force. No shots fired, no declarations of intent, just a silent message distilled from the invaders' restraint. Resistance would be impossible. Yet humanity is not so easily cowed. Across the globe, people rose up in protest, in unity, in prayer. The invaders observed, unmoving, unhurried. Their technology probed the earth and its inhabitants, sending pulses deep underground, reverberating through oceans and forests, mountains and deserts. With each passing day, it became clear. This was not random conquest, but something calculated, a purpose not yet revealed. Scientists and linguists, diplomats and dreamers, all convened to decipher the visitors' intentions. Signals, mathematical, harmonic, pictorial, were sent skyward, mirrors of humanity's desperate need to understand. After days of unanswered transmissions, a reply echoed back. A sequence of images and sounds, gradually increasing in complexity. Slowly a pattern emerged, a language bridging two worlds. The aliens, it seemed, wished to speak. Through this new form of communication, a message was relayed. They were architects, caretakers of worlds, tasked with preserving life across the cosmos. They had watched humanity's progress and turmoil, its moments of beauty and despair. And now, they claimed, the planet teetered on the brink of self-destruction. Climate crisis, war, dwindling resources. Intervention, they reasoned, was their duty. To many this was an outrage, an affront to autonomy. But others saw hope, a lifeline thrown from the stars. Social order trembled as governments debated cooperation or rebellion. Some called it an occupation, others a rescue. The aliens began their transformation of Earth, not with weapons, but with technology that healed the air, cleansed the oceans, mended the soil. Forests flourished, rivers ran clear again, and hunger faded as food was synthesized from nothing. But for all the gifts, there was a cost. Humanity's machines grew obsolete, Economies toppled, jobs vanished. The old way of life, competition, accumulation, unbridled growth, was replaced by the aliens' vision, collaborative stewardship, harmony with the planet, limitations enforced on ambition. Some adapted willingly, captivated by the Earth's restoration. Others went underground, forming resistance networks determined to regain control of their destiny. Among the rebels was a young scientist, driven by both awe and indignation. She believed that the fate of humanity should never be handed over, never decided by outsiders, no matter how benevolent. Working in secret, she began to decipher patterns within the alien technology, searching for vulnerabilities, questioning whether true peace could ever be imposed. As months passed, tension simmered. Human culture was absorbed, catalogued, subtly altered. The invaders encouraged art, music, and exploration, but only where it aligned with their ideals. Ideas and books, considered too dangerous, disappeared from databases and libraries. A collective sense of identity frayed at the edges. Even as cities gleamed with new life and nature rebounded, people wondered, was existence without freedom truly living? Or had they traded their soul for survival? Eventually, the Resistance's efforts yielded a breakthrough, a way to send a message undetectable by alien sensors, broadcasting across the planet. The young scientist's voice reached billions, a call to reclaim humanity's right to choose, to negotiate on their own terms. She spoke not with anger but with conviction, inviting both her fellow humans and the aliens to a parley, not of violence, but of understanding. Moved by the plea, factions on both sides convened. Humans offered humility, acknowledging mistakes and promising to cherish the planet. The aliens, recognizing the value of autonomy, agreed to relinquish control, but with a warning. The gift of a healthy world was not a reset, but a responsibility. And so an accord was reached. The alien vessels lifted silently from the cities, ascending into the atmosphere, leaving behind no monuments but a world, reborn, and a lesson seared into its memory. True evolution is not mastery of technology, but mastery of compassion, balance, and the courage to find one's path, even under the gaze of the stars. Now humanity looks upward not with fear, but with a sense of kinship and curiosity. The sky, once invaded, is now open, a canvas for possibility. And as the world heals, a new journey begins, to explore, to learn, to transform, not from conquest, but from the wisdom gained by standing on the edge of extinction and choosing to become more than it was before.